Chapter 4763. In the eyes of the heavenly human race, no matter how many demons died, they couldn't compare to them. However, Lu Ming and this group of demons would continue to harass and attack them if they didn't eliminate them. Even if the 4 Heavenly Palace experts moved to the ruins of the universe, it was useless. They would still attack them. Just the illusory Heavenly Palace being breached was already a disastrous loss. All the treasures inside, as long as they had a bit of value, were swept clean. The experts of the dreamy Heavenly Palace almost vomited blood. However, if they continued to fight, the losses would be too great. Were they going to exchange 5,000 divine masters for 5,000 demon masters? They couldn't bear to do that. How many divine masters did the heavenly human race have? Therefore, the heavenly human race experts all suggested to the Yi Immortal to withdraw the heavenly human race experts and let the demons fight. Use demons to deal with demons. The heavenly human race experts withdrew to attack the Heaven Destroyer base. They only needed a few heavenly human race experts to control the demon masters to attack the Silver Wing and Purple Eye demons. This was an exchange of lives. The ones who died would be demons. It wouldn't be a loss to the heavenly human race. In any case, there were nearly 7,000 demon masters outside the Heaven Destroyer base. There were also some demon masters left in the Dark Universe. Together, they would be more than enough to deal with Lu Ming and the others. In this way, even if they couldn't completely eliminate Lu Ming and the others, they could at least delay them. The heavenly human race would focus on attacking the Heaven Destroyer base. After destroying the Heaven Destroyer, it would be very easy to concentrate on dealing with Lu Ming and the others. Okay, then we'll do as you say. Withdraw the heavenly human race experts and lead the demons to kill Lu Ming and the others. Also, gather all the demon masters that can be brought out of the Dark Universe to kill Lu Ming and the Silver Wing and Purple Eye demons. Yi Immortal ordered. After the order was passed down, they immediately started to move. 5,000 of the 7,000 demon masters immediately set off to surround Lu Ming and the others. Outside the Heaven Destroyer base, there were only about 5,000 divine masters and demon masters left in the Heavenly Palace. The strength of the attack was greatly reduced. However, the Heaven Destroyer didn't know about this. They thought that this was some kind of ploy by the heavenly human tribe, so they naturally didn't dare to send anyone to attack. Meanwhile, the celestial race plundered the Dark Universe and gathered another 2,000 or so demon masters to attack. They joined forces with the previous 5,000 demon masters, making a total of 7,000 demon masters. They charged toward Lu Ming and the others. Including the purple-eyed and silver-winged races, there were about 14,000 demon masters in the Dark Universe. This was a huge force that was not much weaker than the Heavenly Palace's power. If it weren't for the internal strife between the 4 demon races, they might have been able to break out of the encirclement of the heavenly human tribe. When the 7,000 demon masters caught up to the Een Ruins demon fortress, the celestial race's 7,500 divine masters all retreated back to the Heaven Destroyer base and continued to attack the Heaven Destroyer base. Only the 7,000 demon masters were left behind to chase after Lu Ming and the others. Damn it! Despicable heavenly human tribe. They want us to kill each other. Some demons roared. After seeing that their opponents were demons, the purple-eyed and silver-winged demons hesitated. If they went out and fought with the other demons, it would only weaken the demons and benefit the celestial race. Unfortunately, those demons were completely corrupted by the demon ancestral worms and became the puppets of the celestial race. Under the orders of the celestial race, they only knew how to attack crazily and were not afraid of death. However, seeing this scene, Lu Ming's eyes lit up. The plan is halfway to success. Lu Ming smiled. This was exactly what Lu Ming wanted to see. His goal was to make the celestial race send demons to attack them. Therefore, when the demons fought with the celestial race, he didn't stop them. Instead, he supported the demons. Because only by continuously fighting and causing the celestial race to suffer great losses would the celestial race feel heartache and send demons to attack them. Lu Ming immediately gathered Zixien, Yin Kong, and the others for a meeting. Everyone, our chance to turn defeat into victory has finally arrived. Lu Ming smiled faintly. Turn defeat into victory? With the current situation? How can we turn defeat into victory? Zixian and Yin Kong couldn't help but ask, full of doubts. The ones fighting with us now are the demons. As long as we get rid of the demon ancestral worms in their bodies, victory will be ours, won't it? Lu Ming asked with a smile. If we can get rid of the demon ancestral worms in their bodies, they will definitely hate the celestial race after being treated like this. They will definitely attack the celestial race crazily. Then, we can indeed turn defeat into victory. However, it's not that easy to get rid of the demon ancestral worms in their bodies. They have to be soaked in water that contains the energy of the demon ancestral blood crystal for more than half an hour. If we sprinkle the water with the energy of the demon ancestral blood crystal on them, the celestial race will order them to leave immediately. It won't work at all. Zixian said. That's right. Unless we can fix them in one place and pour out a large amount of water that contains the energy of the demon ancestral blood crystal and let them soak in it for more than half an hour. No, they will be completely corroded. It will take at least an hour. How can we do that? You have to understand that they are all divine masters. They can't set up a temporary formation that is so powerful that it can trap 7,000 divine masters. Yin Kong added. Lu Ming nodded. What Zixian and Yin Kong said was reasonable. The current universe lacked formations that could deal with divine masters and above. The formations that could defend against divine masters had been strengthened over countless years and countless years. Only by combining all kinds of formations together would they have such an effect. For example, the mother planets of various races, the Heavenly Palace and the Heaven Destroyer Station. It wasn't easy to set up a formation that could trap divine masters in a short time because they didn't have such a high-level formation, let alone one that could trap 7,000 fiend masters. Don't worry about that. We have a way. Lu Ming immediately told them about the 1,000 transformation ruins. He also said that Dandan could control the formations in the 1,000 transformation ruins. The 1,000 transformation ruins was left behind by a powerful formation in the last era. There were all kinds of formations left, so there was no lack of formations that could trap enemies. As long as they lured the 7,000 fiend masters to the 1,000 transformation ruins, they could trap them in a certain area and pour in water that contained the energy of the demon ancestral blood crystal to get rid of the demon ancestral worms. There's actually such a place. Zixian and Yin Kong's eyes lit up. Now, as long as you lend me the demon ancestral blood crystal, it will be enough. Lu Ming said. As for the water, he didn't lack it at all. There was a complete fragment of a continent in the ancient desolation ring. There were all kinds of large lakes. Some of the lakes had a radius of tens of millions of miles and were boundless. In addition, the Heavenly Star continent was also kept in the ancient desolation ring. There were all kinds of large lakes on it, so it didn't lack water at all. That's easy. Zixian nodded and waved her hand. The demon ancestral blood crystal flew towards Lu Ming. Chapter 4764. Zixian handed the fiend ancestor blood crystal to Lu Ming. Lu Ming took the fiend ancestor blood crystal with a wave of his hand and put it away in the chaos ring. After that, the fiend ancestor blood crystal landed in a huge lake in the stellar sky continent. The lake was huge, with a radius of 1,000,000 miles. It contained a huge amount of lake water. When the demon ancestor blood crystal fell into the lake, strands of blood-red energy spread out and dissolved in the lake water. The lake water quickly turned red like blood and spread in all directions. Zixian, Yin Kong, and the others also started to move. They stopped running and took the initiative to face the demons controlled by the heavenly human tribe. They fought with them for a while and then controlled the demon castle of Yin ruins to escape. Chase, don't let them escape. The Patriarch has ordered us to use demons to exhaust them. Don't be afraid of losses. We must annihilate these demons. The one leading this group of demons was one of the 4 strongest lords of heaven, damning Lord of Heaven. She gave the order coldly. Her face was unusually gloomy. She hated Lu Ming, Zixian, Yin Kong, and the others to the core. She was born in the illusory Heavenly Palace and was the strongest Lord of Heaven in the Heavenly Palace. Her status was revered. However, The illusory heavenly palace was broken into by Lu Ming, Zixian, Yin Kong, and the others. They took all the treasures inside. This was a great humiliation to the heavenly human tribe in the illusory heavenly palace. Damning Lord of Heaven naturally wanted to destroy Lu Ming, Zixian, Yin Kong, and the others. She led 7,000 demons and chased after the demon castle of Yin Ruins. The demon castle of Yin Ruins flew in the direction of the 1,000 Transformations ruins. Just like that, one chased and one fled all the way into the universe ruins. Oh no, the Crepe Myrtle Heavenly Palace is in front. Don't let them go. Chase after them and don't give them a chance to attack the Crepe Myrtle Heavenly Palace. Damning Lord of Heaven shouted. During this period of time, the 4 Heavenly Palace and some important places of the Heavenly Palace had been moved to the universe ruins. Coincidentally, the Crepe Myrtle Heavenly Palace was in the direction that Lu Ming and the others were heading. Therefore, when the Great Dream Lord of Heaven saw the demon castle of Yin Ruins flying in this direction, he thought that Lu Ming and the others' target was the Crepe Myrtle Heavenly Palace. Naturally, he led the demons to pursue with all his might. However, Lu Ming's destination was naturally not the Crepe Myrtle Heavenly Palace. They did not know that the Crepe Myrtle Heavenly Palace was in this direction. Before they could see the Crepe Myrtle Heavenly Palace, they had already arrived at the Wanhua Ruins. The demon castle of Yin Ruins flew directly into the Wanhua Ruins. During this period of time, Dandan had already entered the Myriad Transformations ruins a step ahead and greeted the Array's spirit here. This place is a little strange. Stop. Big Dream, the Lord of Heaven shouted and ordered the demons to stop. She focused on the front, and her expression was a little uncertain. This place was obviously a ruin, a fragment of a continent left behind from the previous era. Why did the demon castle of Yin Ruins fly here? My lord, if you are worried, why don't you send 5,000 demons in to investigate first and leave 2,000 outside to guard? If anything happens, there will be backup. Beside Big Dream, the Lord of Heaven, a burly heavenly human tribe man suggested. This burly man was also a top-tier Lord of Heaven. Although he was not as strong as the Lord of Heaven like Big Dream, the Lord of Heaven, there was not much difference. Big Dream, the Lord of Heaven, was not the only one from the heavenly human tribe. There were about 100 of them gathered around Big Dream, the Lord of Heaven. That makes sense. Let's do that. You guys, lead 5,000 demons in to check the situation. I will personally guard outside. If anything happens, immediately report to me. Big Dream, the Lord of Heaven ordered. Yes. Immediately, 50 heavenly humans led 5,000 demons in pursuit of the 1,000 Transformations ruins. They kept going deeper into the 1,000 Transformations ruins. Unknowingly, they came to the center of the 1,000 Transformations ruins and saw the demon castle of Yin Ruins from afar. What the hell? A top-tier Lord of Heaven frowned. He felt that something was wrong. Could it be that Lu Ming and the others wanted to stop fighting with them? That was exactly what they wanted. However, out of caution, he did not order them to attack immediately. Instead, he sent 100 demons to check the situation first. They are cautious. Only 5,000 demons came. But that's enough. Dandan, you can do it. Within the demon castle of Yin Ruins, Lu Ming saw the heavenly human tribe's actions clearly. Things were not perfect. He had planned to kill all 7,000 demons in one go, but unfortunately, only 5,000 demons came. The other 2,000 demons were obviously waiting outside. However, 5,000 demons were enough. If he could get rid of all the demon ancestral worms in their bodies, the balance of strength between the two sides would be broken. All right, my friends are getting impatient from waiting. Dandan grinned and then sent a message with a special method. The next moment, the 1,000 Transformations ruins, including the surrounding void, was filled with dazzling light. Endless light spread and turned into endless runes. The runes intertwined and formed many large arrays. All of them were arrays that could trap enemies. They formed layers of cages to trap the 5,000 demons and 50 heavenly human tribe members. We've been tricked. Attack, break through these arrays and rush out. You want to trap us with arrays? Dream on. Several Lord of Heaven shouted and ordered the 5,000 demons to attack. Roar. The 5,000 demons roared and attacked with all their might. Demonic chi soared into the sky and 5,000 attacks bombarded in one direction. Boom, boom, boom. An earth-shattering explosion erupted. However, what made the heavenly human tribe members dumbfounded was that the arrays were unharmed when the 5,000 demons attacked together. At most, it could only cause a slight ripple. How was that possible? What array in the universe could withstand the joint attack of 5,000 demon masters? Unless it was an array like the Heaven Destroyer base that had spent dozens of stellar years and a huge amount of resources to create. Only then would it have such an effect. Why would such an array suddenly appear here? A remnant array from the last era. The heavenly human tribe members' hearts trembled as they thought of this. Attack quickly. You lowly demons, attack with all your might. A lord of heaven roared and ordered 50 million demons to attack crazily. However, it was still useless. The defensive power of the array here was too strong. Its level was shockingly high. Even though countless years had passed and its power had weakened a lot, it was still not something that the 5,000 demon masters could break in a short time. No matter how they attacked, it was useless. The 5,000 demon masters were trapped in a certain range. Dandan, ask your friends to attack and kill those 50 heavenly human tribe members. Lu Ming said to Dandan. With those 50 heavenly human tribe members inside, it would be difficult to move later. If they poured the lake water containing the demon ancestor blood crystal to help those demons get rid of the demon ancestor bugs, it would take at least an hour. At that time, if those heavenly human tribe members saw that the demon ancestor bugs were about to be removed and went crazy and killed the demons inside, wouldn't that be a huge loss? Therefore, they had to get rid of these heavenly human tribe members first. Chapter 4765. It's just 50 of them. That's easy. Dandan chuckled. His eyes flickered with cold, killing intent as he sent a message to his array spirit friend. In the next moment, a new array formation appeared. This time, it was an offensive array formation. Hundreds of sword lights condensed and shot toward the 50 heavenly human race beings. The sword light avoided the demons and went straight for the heavenly humans. These sword lights were extremely powerful. Every single one of them was extremely frightening. Immediately, more than a dozen heavenly humans were pierced by the sword lights and died on the spot. Although the other heavenly humans tried their best to resist, they were more or less injured. Even the top Lord of Heaven had a wound on his body. Blood flowed out. However, the sword lights had no intention of stopping. They continued to kill. Screams rang out continuously as heavenly humans were killed. Block it for me. Block these sword lights for me. The remaining heavenly humans roared and controlled the demons to surround themselves. They wanted to use the demons' bodies to block the sword lights. However, these were all useless. The sword lights directly shattered the void, bypassed the demons, and continued to kill the heavenly humans. In the end, all 50 heavenly humans were killed, including the top heavenly lord. Their fates were the same. Amazing! If we can lure the heavenly humans, including the Yi Immortal, here and kill them all with the array formation, wouldn't it be once and for all? Lu Ming muttered in his heart. However, he also knew that it was impossible. If most of the people chasing them were from the heavenly humans, it would not be so easy to lure them here. That was because the myriad transformations ruins looked abnormal. Anyone with discerning eyes could see the traces of an array formation at a glance. If there was something abnormal, they would naturally not enter easily. However, it was different for the demons. Those heavenly humans did not take the lives of the demons seriously at all. Even if they knew that something was wrong, the ones who died were the demons. They did not care even if they lost a large number of demons. Moreover, those heavenly humans thought that with 5,000 demons, it would not be difficult for them to break out of the encirclement even if something was wrong. Therefore, even if they knew that something was wrong, they still rushed in. They could lure the demons here, but it was almost impossible for them to lure the heavenly human tribe here. Therefore, Lu Ming didn't use this method when it was the heavenly human tribe that was chasing after them. This method could only be used once. If it were to be exposed, it would be impossible to lure the demons over. Now, all that was left was the final step. Lu Ming charged out of the devil castle of Yin ruins and into the sky. With a thought, the great desolation ring lit up and a huge vortex appeared in the sky. A huge amount of blood-red lake water poured out from the whirlpool into the formation. More and more blood-red lake water appeared, and the 5,000 demons were soon drowned by the massive amount of blood-red lake water. Those fiends roared. At first, they struggled and howled in pain. That was because the ancestral fiend blood crystal's energy had already seeped into their bodies through the lake water and began suppressing the ancestral fiend insects. After a while, when the devil ancestor insect was suppressed to a certain extent, the demons calmed down. They quietly sank into the lake and remained motionless. The ancestral fiend blood crystal's energy began to completely remove the ancestral fiend insects. Outside the myriad transformations ruins, the great dream Lord of Heaven and the rest led 2,000 demons and demon masters and waited quietly. However, after 10 minutes, there was no movement at all. They also didn't receive any news. This made the great dream Lord of Heaven's face turn gloomy. In fact, the 50 heavenly human tribe members that were killed wanted to send a message to the great dream Lord of Heaven before they died, telling him that they had been tricked. Unfortunately, the formation isolated them and the voice transmission jade talisman couldn't send a message at all. As for the illusory godly jade, it was useless in the universe ruins. Although the laws of the universe ruins had become orderly now, it was a huge project to let the illusory godly jade transmit a message in the universe ruins. It would take a long time. In addition, it required an extremely strong expert to do it. This was because the universe ruins was too big. It was impossible to do it in such a short time. Send a message to them and ask what's going on. The great dream Lord of Heaven instructed a heavenly human tribe member. The heavenly human tribe member immediately took out the voice transmission jade talisman to send a message, but he realized that the message couldn't be sent out at all. The great dream Lord of Heaven's face turned even gloomier and uglier. She had a bad feeling in her heart. What exactly happened in the ruins? The great dream Lord of Heaven whispered. However, she didn't dare to go in to investigate. If even the 5,000 demon masters had met with misfortune, wouldn't it be even more dangerous for the 2,000 demon masters to enter? Then she ordered 10 demon masters to fly into the myriad transformations ruins to investigate the situation. Naturally, they didn't return. As soon as the 10 demons entered the depths of the myriad transformations ruins, they were captured by Lu Ming and the rest. Instead of killing them, they were all thrown into the formation and soaked in the lake water that contained the energy of the demon ancestor blood crystal. Damn it, what's going on? The great dream Lord of Heaven roared as she became more and more anxious. However, she couldn't think of a way, nor did she dare to go in. She could only wait anxiously outside the myriad transformations ruins. Soon, more than an hour passed. Look, it's the Yin ruins demon castle. A heavenly human race god master suddenly shouted. The Yin ruins demon castle flew out from the depths of the myriad transformations ruins. However, the 5,000 demon masters under their control were nowhere to be seen. Retreat, retreat quickly. The great dream Lord of Heaven shouted. There were 5,000 demon masters in the Yin ruins demon castle, while they only had 2,000. The difference in strength was too great, and they couldn't fight head-on. They could only retreat and wait for the 5,000 demon masters to appear. A cold voice came from the Yin ruins demon castle. The Yin ruins demon castle quickly flew through the air and chased after the great dream Lord of Heaven and the rest. This was a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Lu Ming and the rest naturally wouldn't miss it. If these 2,000 demon masters escaped to the Heaven Destroyer's base, it would be difficult to deal with them. Now was the best chance to catch them all in one fell swoop. The great dream Lord of Heaven led the 2,000 demon masters and fled quickly. The Yin ruins demon castle chased after them. However, they didn't fly far. In the void in front of the great dream Lord of Heaven and the rest, dense demonic energy suddenly filled the air. The demonic energy soared into the sky, and a large number of demons appeared. 5,000 demon masters. They were the 5,000 demon masters that had disappeared. The great dream Lord of Heaven and the rest were overjoyed. although they didn't know why the 5,000 demon masters had appeared behind them after chasing them into the ruins. However, it was fine as long as they were fine. The great Dream Lord of Heaven led the 2,000 demon masters and rushed toward the 5,000 demon masters. However, when the two sides approached, the great Dream Lord of Heaven's heart suddenly contracted. Her eyes were filled with shock and confusion, because she realized that something was wrong with the 5,000 demon masters. Chapter 4766. Big Dream Lord of Heaven soon discovered that something was wrong with these 5,000 demon masters. Originally, the 5,000 demon masters were corroded by the demon ancestral worm and lost their intelligence. They were reduced to puppets, and their eyes were muddle-headed. But it was different now. In the eyes of these demons, apart from brutal killing intent, there was also deep-seated hatred. And the target of this hatred was them. To be precise, it was their celestial race. There was only one possibility, and that was that these demons had regained their consciousness, and the demon ancestral worm in their bodies was at least suppressed. How was this possible? They had only disappeared for more than an hour, and these demons had recovered? However, the truth was right in front of her, and she had no choice but to believe it. Her heart kept sinking. There were 5,000 demon masters in front and behind, and they were in fatal danger. But she was not an ordinary person. She would not easily accept her fate. Charge out to the side. Big Dream Lord of Heaven roared and controlled the 2,000 demon masters to charge to the side. Stop them. Don't let them go. The 5,000 demon masters roared and spread out, forming a fan shape and surrounding Big Dream Lord of Heaven and the others. At the same time, in the Yin Ruins Demon Castle, Lu Ming and the others also began to move. Zi Xian and Yin Kong led the 5,000 demon masters of the two royal races and rushed out of the Yin Ruins Demon Castle. They also formed a fan shape and surrounded Big Dream Lord of Heaven and the others. Surrounded from the front and back, the 5,000 demon masters led by Big Dream Lord of Heaven had nowhere to run. Soon they were caught up. Both sides collided. 10,000 against 2,000, it was too easy. However, Lu Ming and the others, as well as the 5,000 demon masters who had their demon ancestral worms removed, did not kill them. They tried their best to capture the 2,000 demon masters alive, wanting to remove the demon ancestral worms for them. This was a powerful force, and it would be a waste to kill them all. Removing the demon ancestral worms for them would instead be a powerful force against the celestial race. The battle was completely one-sided. It was one-sided. The 2,000 demon masters were constantly being suppressed and controlled. However, these 2,000 demon masters were controlled by Big Dream Lord of Heaven and the others. They fought crazily without caring about their own defense. This way, some were naturally killed. However, most of them were under control. Even more demons charged toward the Big Dream Lord of Heaven and the other 50 heavenly humans. Big Dream's Lord of Heaven's strength was indeed incomparably powerful. She charged left and right, continuously killing more than 10 demons. However, in the next moment, the two terrifying demons charged towards the Lord of Heaven. Among the demons, there were also extremely powerful demon masters who were not weaker than the most powerful Lord of Heaven. These two demon masters were existences on the same level as the Lord of Heaven. With the two of them working together, even if the Great Dream Lord of Heaven's great dream power was mysterious and unfathomable, it was difficult for him to break out of the encirclement. "I'll go kill her," Bone Demon said. His body was like a bolt of lightning as he charged towards Big Dream Lord of Heaven. Bone Demon held the purple gold battle axe in his hand. This was one of the divine weapons of the heavenly court. Its power was extremely powerful and astonishing. The purple gold battle axe slashed towards Big Dream Lord of Heaven, causing Big Dream Lord of Heaven to be greatly alarmed. Her figure was like a dream as it split into hundreds of figures. In the end, she successfully dodged the attack of the purple gold battle axe. However, the other two powerful demon masters also charged over. Facing three existences of the same level, Big Dream Lord of Heaven was practically powerless to resist. She could only dodge with all her might. Great Dream Domain. Big Dream Lord of Heaven gave a low shout. The great dream domain spread out, enveloping Bone Demon and the two strongest demon masters. Once, Big Dream Lord of Heaven used this move to make all the living beings in an entire galaxy fall into a dream and be at the mercy of others. The effect of this move was extremely shocking against existences of the same level. Big Dream Lord of Heaven was known as one of the 4 strongest Lords of Heaven. She was the most terrifying and most dangerous existence because of her great dream domain. It was impossible to guard against it. Back then, Lion still needed to cooperate with another top-notch Divine Lord to be able to fight against Big Dream Lord of Heaven. Once the great dream domain was released, the other 2 strongest demon masters were a little dazed. Their attacks paused for a moment. To Big Dream Lord of Heaven, the opponent's attacks paused for a moment. It was enough for her to escape. Unfortunately, this time, she miscalculated. Bone Demon didn't have any reaction to her great dream domain. Bone Demon's attacks didn't stop at all. The purple gold battle axe continued to slash towards Big Dream Lord of Heaven. Big Dream Lord of Heaven obviously didn't expect that Bone Demon wasn't affected at all. She wanted to dodge, but it was already too late. Pooh! The purple gold battle axe struck her. At the crucial moment, Big Dream Lord of Heaven used all her methods to dodge. Moreover, there was an automatic defensive treasure on her body that activated at the crucial moment. But it still couldn't block the purple gold battle axe. The defensive treasure shattered. Big Dream Lord of Heaven's body flew out. A terrifying wound appeared on her body. She was almost split in half. Although her body wasn't completely split in half, the purple gold battle axe contained a terrifying destructive power. It still caused her heavy injuries. Blood continuously spurted out from her mouth. Her face was deathly pale. There wasn't a trace of blood. But why didn't my great dream domain affect you at all? Big Dream Lord of Heaven roared. Her eyes revealed a look of despair. She knew that in her current state, it was impossible for her to escape from the hands of 3 experts of the same level. Before she died, she wanted to understand why Bone Demon could defend against her great dream domain. You, a mere divine lord, want to shake my soul fire? Ridiculous! Bone Demon said indifferently. He was originally an existence of the origin realm. Although his cultivation realm had fallen below the origin realm and his origin root had dissipated, his soul fire was still not something a divine lord could compare to. You, Big Dream Lord of Heaven's eyes revealed a look of understanding. At this moment, the attacks of the 2 strongest demon kings had already arrived. Big Dream Lord of Heaven was naturally unwilling to die like this. She fought back with all her might. However, Bone Demon's attack just now had caused too much damage to her. It was difficult for her to maintain her peak strength. In addition, Bone Demon had also arrived. Even if she fought with all her might, she couldn't do it. After barely resisting a few moves, Bone Demon chopped off her head. Her corpse was torn apart by the 2 strongest demon kings. The generation's strongest Lord of Heaven had fallen just like that. As for the remaining dozens of heavenly humans, they were all killed as well. Of the 2,000 demon kings, about 800 were killed. The remaining 1,200 were sealed and controlled. Yin Kong, Zixien, I didn't think that your 2 races would save us. This time, my race owes you a favor. A muscular demon flew over to Zixien, Yin Kong, and the others. This person had a golden horn on his head that looked like it was made of gold. This was another one of the 4 demon royal clans. The current leader of the Golden Horn clan was called Jiao Du. This time, we demons were tricked by the heavenly humans. We were almost completely wiped out. Our common enemy is the heavenly humans. We saved you to deal with the heavenly humans. Zixien said indifferently. Although we are enemies, my Jiao Du clearly distinguishes between kindness and hatred. This time, we owe you a favor. We will definitely return it in the future. Jiao Du smiled. Chapter 4767. If you want to talk about favors, you should thank Lu Ming. He was the one who helped us obtain the demonic ancestor blood crystal. Previously, he was also the one who designed it. With the help of his friends, we trapped all of you with the array. Only then did we have the chance to help you get rid of the demonic ancestor worm. Zixien pointed at Lu Ming and said, Kakuzu and the others looked at Lu Ming. A human? Jiao will remember this favor. Kakuzu grinned. What are you going to do now? Zi Xian asked Kakuzu. We're going to kill the heavenly human race, of course. Those despicable heavenly human race actually used us as puppets. That's unforgivable. I won't be able to get rid of the hatred in my heart if I don't kill all of them. Kakuzu said coldly. His eyes were ferocious and filled with murderous intent, like a ferocious beast. The demons with Kakuzu were similar. They were filled with murderous intent and couldn't wait to kill the heavenly human race immediately. Their hearts were filled with anger and murderous intent when they thought about how they had been corrupted by the ancestral demon bugs and completely turned into puppets for the heavenly human race. If Lu Ming, Zi Xian, and the others hadn't saved them, they would have been reduced to walking corpses and puppets for the heavenly human race for the rest of their lives. It was even worse than killing them. That's exactly what I wanted. The heavenly human race is now besieging the Heaven Destroyer. Lu Ming and the others are from the Heaven Destroyer. Let's go to the Heaven Destroyer's base and attack from both sides with the Heaven Destroyer. We can defeat the heavenly human race in one fell swoop. Zi Xian immediately said. Lu Ming smiled. Sure enough, he was right. Once the ancestral demon bugs were removed, those demons would never let the heavenly human race go. Without him saying anything, those demons would attack the heavenly human race. Now, the total number of demons here was close to 11,000. In addition to the 5,000 almighty from the Heaven Destroyer, their numbers were no less than the heavenly palaces. In fact, they had even more almighty than the heavenly palace. There were only 2,000 demon masters left in the heavenly palace, while there were only 16,000 divine masters left in the heavenly palace. Among them, the Battle Saint tribe, the Buddha race, the demon ancestor, and the spirit race had already left. In addition to the losses they suffered during this period of time, the heavenly palace had less than 15,000 God Lord realm experts. With the addition of the 2,000 demons, there were less than 17,000. However, some of them were divine masters who were chasing after the escapees. There were about 2,000 of them. As a result, there were less than 15,000 divine masters left around the Heaven Destroyer's base. It was a rare opportunity to kill them now. After discussing for a while, they began to act. Of course, the first thing to do was to get rid of the demon ancestral insects from the 1,200 fiend demon masters that they had just suppressed. This was very simple. They returned to the myriad transformations ruins and threw these 1,200 fiend demon masters into the lake that contained the energy of the demon ancestral blood crystal. After more than an hour, these 1,200 fiend demon masters all returned to normal. Once these fiend demon masters returned to normal and learned of their fate, they were naturally enraged. They howled and shouted that they wanted to kill the celestial race and take revenge. All the fiend demons entered the Een Ruins demon castle. Then, the Een Ruins demon castle broke through the void and headed toward the Heaven Destroyer's base. The Myriad Transformations ruins was originally located in the ruins of the universe, so it wasn't very far from the Heaven Destroyer's base. In just a little over 2 days, they arrived near the Heaven Destroyer's base. Even from afar, one could hear a loud explosion coming from the distant void. In the vicinity of the Heaven Destroyer's base, there were about 15,000 divine masters in addition to the 2,000 fiend demon masters. They were divided into 2 groups and took turns to attack the Heaven Destroyer's base's array formation. After not seeing each other for some time, the Heaven Destroyer's base's array formation had dimmed by quite a bit. At this rate, the Heaven Destroyer's base's array formation would be broken in 200 years at most. Kill the celestial race. Kill them. All the fiend demons were enraged. Their eyes flashed with murderous intent as they rushed out of the Een Ruins demon castle. About 11,000 fiend demon masters filled the air with demonic chi and demonic might. Their cries shook the sky as they charged toward the Heavenly Palace's experts. The Heavenly Palace's experts noticed the fiend army from afar. What's going on? So many fiend demon masters. What happened? Could it be that the fiend ancestral worm in their bodies has been removed? Countless heavenly humans experts were shocked beyond words and yelled in disbelief. Those who were attacking the Heaven Destroyer's base couldn't help but stop. Even if it was Yi Xiao, at this moment, his heart was going crazy. However, he was someone who had experienced countless storms after all, so he quickly calmed down. Stop attacking the Heaven Destroyer's base first. Gather and deal with the fiend demons first. Yi Immortal's roar reverberated throughout the area. Swish, 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 swish. The Heavenly Palace's divine masters gathered together. Yi Immortal yelled when the fiend army was close to them. Nearly 15,000 Divine Lord Realm existences attacked at the same time. Terrifying attacks tore through the void as they attacked the evil demon army. Kill, 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 kill! The fiend army roared as demonic chi surged. They attacked with all their might and blocked the attacks of the Heavenly Palace's experts. In the next moment, the two sides clashed and engaged in close combat. In an instant, many people from both sides were killed. However, the fiend army had fewer divine masters, so they were at a disadvantage and lost more divine masters. Kill! Lu Ming yelled as he stabbed out his war god spear and killed a heavenly human. Lu Ming die! The heavenly human race's experts had their eyes on Lu Ming. A powerful lord of heaven charged toward Lu Ming. However, Guimo, who was beside Lu Ming, struck out with his purple golden battle axe and split a lord of heaven in half. The terrifying power destroyed his soul as well. Lu Ming, Xian Yanqing, Dandan, and the 10,000 gods didn't separate from Guimo. With Guimo's protection and their own combat strength, they were safe for the time being. Everyone from Heaven Destroyer, this is a golden opportunity. Why don't you attack and destroy the Heavenly Palace? What are you waiting for? Lu Ming yelled. His voice was transmitted to the base of Heaven Destroyer. At the same time, his body swelled and emitted a dazzling light. He wanted the people from Heaven Destroyer to see him. It's Lu Ming. Those fiends were brought here by Lu Ming. There's no problem. The experts of Heaven Destroyer were overjoyed when they saw Lu Ming. They didn't attack immediately just now because they were afraid of falling into a trap. The fiends were clearly controlled by the heavenly human race. They were afraid that this was a show between the heavenly human race and the fiends. The purpose was to lure them out and then kill them all. However, after seeing Lu Ming, they knew that the fiends were really fighting with the heavenly human race. It wasn't a conspiracy. So, Divine Masters, let's kill our way out. Lion was the first to roar. The other experts also roared. Open the array and kill our way out. The array formation of Heaven Destroyer's base was opened, and 5,000 Divine Masters charged out. Chapter 4768. The 5,000 Almighty from Heaven Destroyer charged out. Their killing intent soared to the sky, and their eyes were fierce. They pushed their combat power to the limit and charged toward the Heavenly Palace powerhouses without any regard for their lives. The people from Heaven Destroyer were really frustrated. For more than 500 years, they could only hide in Heaven Destroyer's base and let the Heavenly Palace attack them continuously. They couldn't fight back, and it was really frustrating. Now that they had the chance, they naturally wanted to vent. The 5,000 Almighty from Heaven Destroyer charged out from behind the Heavenly Palace, and the expressions of the Heavenly Palace powerhouses changed drastically. Naturally, they couldn't concentrate their forces to deal with the demons. They could only send 5,000 Almighty to fight against the people from Heaven Destroyer. There were more than 30,000 Divine Masters on both sides, and an unprecedentedly chaotic battle broke out in this region. At least, in this era, it was really unprecedented to send so many Almighty to fight in such a chaotic battle. Even in the battle between the heavenly human tribe and the primitive divine spirit, there were far fewer Almighty than this. More than 30,000 Almighty were fighting in a chaotic battle. It was terrifying, and the destruction caused was shocking. Fortunately, this was the ruins of the universe, and there were no other continental fragments around except for Heaven Destroyer's base. Therefore, there was no destructive disaster. If this was the universe, one star zone after another would be destroyed. In Heaven Destroyer's base, countless living beings looked into the void with deep shock in their eyes. This scene was like an epic battle, and the impact on them was too strong. The Almighty, who were usually high and mighty, were just small soldiers in such a great battle. There were Almighty dying at every moment. Their bodies were torn apart, and their bodies and souls were destroyed. In just over 10 minutes, more than 1,000 Almighty from both sides had died. The heavenly palace was gradually at a disadvantage and was forced to retreat. Logically speaking, although the number of Almighty from the heavenly palace was less than the demons and Heaven Destroyer combined, it was still a lot less. At most, it should be less than 1,000. They shouldn't be defeated so quickly. However, the morale and fighting spirit of the heavenly palace were far inferior to that of the demons and the Heaven Destroyer. The Abyss Devils were warlike and ferocious to begin with. On top of that, they had been corrupted by the heavenly human tribe's demon ancestral worm and turned into puppets. Their hatred for the heavenly human tribe was simply monstrous. They were not afraid of death and wanted nothing more than to kill the entire heavenly human tribe. On the other hand, Heaven Destroyer's morale and fighting spirit weren't bad either. They had been holding back for so many years, and now, they were bursting out together. At the same time, they also understood that this battle was extremely important to them. If they could win, the Heaven Destroyer situation would be completely revived. If he was defeated, then he would be in real danger. Therefore, the people of Heaven Destroyer were also fighting with their lives on the line. On the other hand, the Heavenly Palace was the complete opposite. Among the fighters from the Heavenly Palace, there were more than 1,000 divine lords from other clans. These divine lords did not have much fighting spirit. They were already dissatisfied with the heavenly human tribe. Usually, he was bullied by the heavenly human race and influenced by those who escaped from the heavenly prison. Among them, there were also experts from other clans. It was just that they were not as bold as the Battle Saint tribe, the Buddhist race, the demon ancestor, and the spirit race to directly leave the heavenly palace. However, they were naturally unwilling to sacrifice themselves for the heavenly human tribe. Therefore, during the battle, these people naturally played along and would not really fight with their lives on the line. As for the heavenly human tribe, their fighting spirit was not high either. The main reason was that the difference was too great. Originally, the heavenly human tribe, or the heavenly palace, had the absolute advantage. They controlled the demons and besieged the Heaven Destroyer. It was as if they were going to unify the universe. However, not long after, the situation had completely changed. The people of the heavenly human tribe could not accept this. The blow was too great. They were a little confused, and their fighting spirit was naturally not high. In this way, although the difference in numbers between the two sides was not much, the heavenly palace was steadily losing ground. If they retreated, the situation would be even worse. Many people's fighting spirit would be even lower, and it would be difficult for them to exert their combat strength. They were also suppressed, and their losses were increasing. The expressions of the Yi Immortal, Yi Qiuxian, and the others became more and more gloomy. Patriarch, what should we do? If this continues, we will suffer heavy losses. A Lord of Heaven asked the Yi Immortal. The Yi Immortal's expression became more and more unsightly. Retreat, retreat. The Yi Immortal was very decisive. He directly ordered a retreat. Gather, retreat. A Lord of Heaven's roar echoed throughout the battlefield. The elites of the heavenly palace were greatly energized. They gathered together, not to attack, but to defend. At the same time, the heavenly human tribe controlled the remaining 2,000 demons to line up at the front as the main force to resist the attacks from all sides. The strength of the two sides was originally not much different. The heavenly palace focused on defense and immediately stabilized the situation, and no more people died. The demons and the Heaven Destroyer continued to attack, but they could not break through the defense of the heavenly palace. The overlords of the heavenly palace fought and retreated, quickly moving away from the Heaven Destroyer's base. After the evil demons and the heaven exterminating troop chased for a while, they stopped and did not continue the chase. It was meaningless to continue the pursuit. The other side was focused on defense and it was difficult for them to break through. We won. The members of the Heaven Destroyer were overjoyed. However, they were still wary of the demons and retreated to the Heaven Destroyer's base. Everyone, what are your plans next? Lu Ming asked Zixian, Yin Kong, Jiao Du and the others. Is this the legendary universe ruins? The cultivation environment of the ruins left behind by the Eldritch continent is indeed much better than the Dark Universe. Our race will naturally live and reproduce in the universe ruins, Jiao Du said. That's right. Since we have come out, we will naturally occupy a place in the universe ruins. Zixian also said. Yin Kong and another member of the demon royal family had the same idea. Also, their feud with the heavenly human race hadn't ended yet. They wouldn't let the heavenly human race off easily. This was exactly what Lu Ming wanted. With the demons restraining them, the heavenly human race shouldn't have the strength to attack the Heaven Destroyer again. The Heaven Destroyer could use the Heaven Destroyer's base as its core to expand outward, occupy a part of the territory, and recuperate. The universe ruins were now a treasure land that couldn't be missed. However, the 4 demon royal families still had one important thing to resolve. That was the demon ancestor blood crystal. This was the supreme treasure of the demons. None of the 4 demon royal families was willing to let it go. Back then, the 4 demon royal families fought each other because of the demon ancestor blood crystal. This time, none of them gave in. Everyone wanted to control it. Everyone listen to me. Back then, the heavenly human race had an opportunity to block you in the dark universe for countless years because of the demon ancestor blood crystal. Now, do you want to repeat the same mistake? Lu Ming said. Zixian, Yin Kong, Jiao Du and the others fell silent. They understood the reason, but they weren't willing to give up. Why don't you jointly control the demon ancestor blood crystal? You have to understand that your common enemy now is the heavenly human race. Lu Ming suggested. Chapter 4769. After a discussion, the 4 royal demon clans finally decided to share the demon ancestor blood crystal. The 4 royal demon clans would send experts to guard it together and share the benefits equally. After the discussion, the 4 royal demon clans bade farewell to Lu Ming and left with a whoosh. Next, the situation will be turbulent. Lu Ming sighed slightly. He could imagine that the major forces would begin to compete for the universe ruins. Now, the cultivation environment in the universe ruins was getting better and better, far surpassing the universe's starry sky. Some of the continent fragments that used to be dead had shown signs of vitality, filled with rich energy, and even primordial crystals had been dug out. It was conceivable that the cultivation environment in the universe ruins would get better and better in the future. This was the foundation of the major forces. Occupying the universe ruins was equivalent to occupying the resources. In the future, there would be more and more experts, which was the capital to dominate the universe. It was conceivable that the Heavenly Palace, the Quasi-Sage race, the demons, the Heaven Destroyer, and some other strong races would crazily compete for the continent fragments in the universe ruins. The entire universe had entered a new era. This is a good thing. At least the Heavenly Palace will no longer dominate the universe. This is more conducive to the development of the Heaven Destroyer. Xian Yanqing said. Lu Ming, Dandan, and the others nodded. Such a situation was naturally more advantageous for the Heaven Destroyer. They had a chance to breathe. As long as they got the Human King's heart and collected the Human King's body, they would be able to dominate the universe in one fell swoop. Let's go back to the station, Lu Ming said. Then, they returned to the Heaven Destroyer station. At this moment, the Heaven Destroyer station was filled with cheers. After hundreds of years, the crisis had finally been resolved. Everyone felt a lot more relaxed. Lu Ming. As soon as Lu Ming and the others returned, Lion, Shi, Tang Jun, and the others surrounded them. Lu Ming, what's going on? Why did those demons suddenly counterattack and fight with the heavenly human race? Is it related to you? Tang Jun asked a bunch of questions. Her first instinct was that this matter had something to do with Lu Ming. Lion and the others curiously looked at Lu Ming's group. Lu Ming's group had clearly been together with the demons. Moreover, it would appear that their relationship was quite good. Let me tell you, I'm the one who contributed the most in this matter. Lu Ming only assisted me. Let me tell you, sure enough, before Lu Ming could say anything, Dandan beat him to it. Spittle flew everywhere as he recounted their experiences during this period of time. Of course, when it came from Danden's mouth, the meaning changed. Everything became his contribution. Especially the battle in the Myriad Transformations ruins where he helped the evil demons get rid of the demonic ancestral worm, it was even more exaggerated by him. That's right. This time, if it weren't for me, Heaven Destroyer would have been in danger. In the end, Danden concluded with a smug look on his face. Fortunately, Tang Jun, Lion, and the others knew what kind of person Danden was, so they automatically filtered out Danden's bragging when they heard it. But they were still stunned when they heard the last part. They didn't expect that Lu Ming and the others had gone through so much during this period of time. They even rescued the demons and successfully turned the situation around, bringing the situation of the universe to a new stage. Danden was right about one thing. This time, if it weren't for Lu Ming and the others, Heaven Destroyer would really be in danger. Now that the universe has changed, the ruins of the universe will become a sacred place for cultivation. All kinds of heavenly treasures will be born continuously. If we want to compete with the Heavenly Palace in the future, we can't miss this opportunity. Lu Ming said. Lu Ming, you're right. Next, we have to take action. We'll use Heaven Destroyer's base as the core and send out overlords to expand, Lion said. Next, the higher-ups of Heaven Destroyer gathered together to discuss their future path. After the discussion, they began to take action. They sent out overlords to occupy those continent fragments with the base as the core. In the following days, the entire universe entered an era of great competition. After the Heavenly Palace retreated, they returned to the 4 heavenly palaces and began to occupy large amounts of the ruins of the universe with the 4 heavenly palaces as the core. The demons were the same. With the 4 royal races as the core, they frantically occupied the ruins of the universe. In addition, the Battle Saint tribe, the Buddhist race, and other large races also occupied a portion. However, these races knew that their strength was limited, so they only occupied a small portion and didn't expand outwards. In just a few months, 1/3 of the explored area of the ruins of the universe was divided up by various major forces. Among them, the Quasi-Saint tribe occupied the largest area because they took the initiative and occupied 50% of the explored area. The remaining 50% was divided up by the Heavenly Palace, the demons, Heaven Destroyer, and other forces. Obviously, the Heavenly Palace seemed to be rather afraid of the Quasi-Saint tribe and didn't have any conflicts with them for the time being. Part of the reason was because they didn't have enough strength. During this period of time, the demons constantly attacked the areas occupied by the Heavenly Palace. In just a few months, both sides had fought dozens of battles of various sizes. At the same time, after the demons occupied a portion of the territory, they began to send people back to the Dark Universe and began to borrow the power of the Demon Ancestor Blood Crystal to eliminate the Demon Ancestor worms for the demons below the God Master level. As time passed, a large number of demons walked out of the Dark Universe and spread to various parts of the universe ruins to reproduce. Time passed quickly and several years passed in the blink of an eye. The entire universe had entered a new stage. Apart from the occasional fights between the demons and the Heavenly Palace, there were no other large-scale battles. All the major forces seemed to be brewing and accumulating strength with all their strength to increase their strength. Of course, the major forces didn't give up on the pursuit of the human monarch's heart. Whether it was the Quasi-Saint tribe, the Heavenly Palace, or the Heaven Destroyer, they had secretly sent people to investigate various parts of the universe ruins to look for clues about the human monarch's heart. Because the major forces understood that the human monarch's heart was the key. Because once it appeared, it was likely to immediately change the current situation. During this period, Lu Ming didn't pay attention to other matters. Those development matters could be left to others. Lu Ming wholeheartedly cultivated and crazily refined the chaos crystals to increase his strength. After a few years, Lu Ming successfully refined all the 500 million chaos crystals in his possession. His cultivation had finally advanced another step and reached the 8th level of the Divine Master Realm. After breaking through to the 8th level of the Divine Master Realm, Lu Ming's battle prowess had increased sharply. With my current battle prowess, I should be second only to the strongest Lord of Heaven. Lu Ming muttered. He was confident that if he encountered a top-notch Lord of Heaven like the silver-armored Lord of Heaven from the immeasurable demon abyss, he wouldn't be defeated and could even defeat the other party. His current battle prowess should still be a little weaker than the strongest Lord of Heaven, but it shouldn't be too big of a difference. It could be said that Lu Ming already didn't have many opponents in the Divine Master realm. Chapter 4770. In the past few years, Xian Yanqing, Dandan, Wan Shen, Tang Jun and the others had been cultivating wholeheartedly. They were in a stage of rapid growth, so they naturally did not participate in other trivial matters. Their only goal was to cultivate and increase their strength. Furthermore, they had obtained a large amount of resources in the illusory heavenly palace. They could convert these resources into strength. Dandan and Wan Shen's cultivation had also increased by leaps and bounds. However, Xian Yanqing's cultivation had reached a bottleneck. It was not that easy for a 9th-tier Divine Master to break through to the peak of the Divine Master realm. It was not something that could be done by piling up resources. It needed to be slowly accumulated. This was especially true for Xian Yanqing, who had condensed an origin source seed in the past. The origin source energy contained within the origin source energy did not have its own unique characteristics. It was a common type of origin source energy. The attributes of the origin source seeds condensed by Lu Ming, Xian Yanqing, Yi Qiuxian, Dandan, and the others were more or less the same. However, the origin energy of peak God Masters and reciprocity existences all possessed unique characteristics. Everyone's origin energy would be slightly different, and it would be most compatible with them. If Xian Yanqing wanted to break through to the peak of the Divine Master realm, he would first have to convert the origin source energy in his origin source energy into origin source energy with his own unique characteristics. He would then connect to the cosmic sea through the cosmic bridge, comprehend the origin source, and slowly accumulate origin source energy. Only when his origin source energy was sufficiently abundant would he break through to the peak of the Divine Master realm. This step depended on the individual's comprehension ability. Those with high comprehension ability would need less time to reach this step. Those with low comprehension ability would need more time. This step required accumulation. It was difficult to rely on resources. Of course, treasures that could increase comprehension ability were an exception. Even with Xian Yanqing's experience from his previous life, he would still need quite some time to break through. Now that my cultivation has reached the 8th tier of the Divine Master realm, the amount of resources needed to break through is too terrifying. I'll need at least 5 to 6 billion desolate crystals. Where can I get so many desolate crystals? Lu Ming frowned as he pondered. Even if he emptied the vaults of the 4 heavenly palaces, he would not be able to gather 5 to 6 billion desolate crystals. Fortunately, the universe had undergone great changes. Desolate crystals had appeared in many formerly dead continent fragments. The speed and path to obtaining desolate crystals was much faster than before. He could slowly accumulate them in the future. Qiuqiu's lack of resources. Progress. Lu Ming thought about Qiuqiu. Qiu's Divine Master realm, Qiu had stagnated. The main reason was that they lacked broken source-grade divine weapons or top-grade metal materials. Qiu's, Qiu and Qiu, Qiu and Qiu and Qiu Qiu and Qiu and Qiu had. Qiu times Qiu. Qiu was getting stronger and stronger. After swallowing many kinds of broken source-level divine weapons, its means had become more varied. It was of great help to Lu Ming. At the critical moment, it could turn the tide of the battle. Qiu Palace suddenly, Lu Ming's eyes revealed a trace of determination. He planned to take out a divine weapon of the heavenly court for Qiuqiu to devour. Those divine weapons were all attack type. Lu Ming already had the battle god spear, so he didn't need anything else. He had originally planned to leave it for his family. However, he didn't know how long it would take for his family and disciples to improve their cultivation. It would be a waste for him to keep it in his possession. He might as well give one to Qiuqiu. Qiuqiu's cultivation would increase and it would be of great help to him. Hall Guardian Divine Armaments were top-notch source-grade divine armaments, so they would definitely help Qiuqiu greatly. Little ball, this is for you. Since he had made up his mind, A divine weapon appeared in Lu Ming's hand and he passed it to Qiuqiu. This is... Qiuqiu's eyes immediately lit up. However, he did not swallow it immediately. He knew that this was a precious treasure that Lu Ming had his eyes on. This is for you. Eat it and break through quickly. Lu Ming smiled. Since you're giving it to me, I won't stand on ceremony. Qiuqiu's saliva almost flowed out. He opened his mouth and swallowed the divine weapon in one gulp. A satisfied look appeared on his face. Then, Lu Ming took out 15 kilograms of ice fire star silver and gave it to Qiuqiu. Hall Guardian divine armaments were not to be underestimated. They were top-notch divine armaments. He was afraid that Qiuqiu would have a lot of impurities after eating it, which would affect his foundation and make it difficult for him to break through. With the ice fire star silver, it would be safe. After Qiuqiu ate the 15 kilograms of ice fire star silver, it turned into a bracelet and was worn on Lu Ming's hand. Next, let's continue to comprehend the secret art and battle formula. Lu Ming got up and went to the place where the primordial divine sound was and continued to comprehend the secret art and battle formula. Since he couldn't break through in his cultivation, he could only comprehend the battle formula and secret art. This way, he could also increase his combat strength. Sky Continent, a huge continent fragment in the universe ruins. This was also an important place in the primeval continent in the last era. It was similar to the thousand-year battlefield and contained a lot of resources. Just like the thousand-year battlefield, Heaven Destroyer had also sent many elites to compete with the Heavenly Palace for the Sky Continent. They fought and fought for resources. But now, Heaven Destroyer's people had already retreated. The Sky Continent had become the Heavenly Palace's property. In the sky above the Sky Continent, 4 huge ancient palaces floated. The 4 Heavenly Palaces. That's right, the Heavenly Palaces, 4 Heavenly Palaces, the Dream Heavenly Palace, the Crepe Myrtle Heavenly Palace, the Primordial Heavenly Palace, and the Divine Armament Heavenly Palace, were all gathered here. This place had become the Heavenly Palace's headquarters in the universe ruins. Under the Heavenly Palace's continent, there was a huge palace. At this time, a large number of heavenly human elites had gathered in the palace to discuss something. Yes, there were only heavenly humans here. There were no other races, such as angels and vampires. Ye Immortals sat high above and looked down at everyone. In the face of the current situation, what suggestions do you all have? Speak. Ye Immortals said. Immediately, the powerhouses of the heavenly human tribes spoke one after another, expressing their thoughts. Some suggested that they should hold back for the time being and slowly develop and accumulate strength. At the same time, they should also search for the human monarch's heart. Some suggested that they should directly send troops to destroy the demons first, then the rebels, and then the quasi-immortals. The two sides disagreed and quarreled fiercely. In the end, Ye Immortals spoke, and everyone quieted down. Patriarch, do you already have an idea? An old Lord of Heaven bowed and asked Ye Immortal. He was more shrewd and had not expressed his opinion before. At the same time, he saw Ye Immortal's calm face and knew that Ye Immortal most likely already had an idea. That's right. Compromising your ideas is my idea. Ye Immortal said. Compromising? Patriarch, this junior is slow-witted. How should we compromise? A Lord of Heaven asked. Demons and rebels must all be destroyed. Ye Immortal's eyes burst out with a cold luster. He continued, do they think that the Heavenly Palace is so weak after the origin tribulation that we can't do anything to them? I want to let them know that they are gravely mistaken. The origin tribulation cannot come out. The Divine Master is the peak. This is the Heavenly Palace, the world of the heavenly human race. It's time to summon those existences. Chapter 4771. Ye Immortal's words shocked all the heavenly human powerhouses present. Patriarch, do you mean the primeval heavenly palace? An old heavenly monarch said. His voice was trembling and filled with reverence. The primeval heavenly palace was the most mysterious of the heavenly palaces. It was also the 5th heavenly palace. This heavenly palace was completely different from the 4 heavenly palaces that the outside world knew. It was mysterious and unfathomable even in the eyes of many Lord of Heaven. Many Lord of Heaven only knew that there were very few people in the primeval heavenly palace. Terrifying heavenly humans lived there and carried out some terrifying experiments to seal some monsters. That's right. There are some results of the experiments in the primeval heavenly palace. Although they are all failures, they are not very useful in the era when the origin is still around. However, in the era when the origin is not around, these failures will be everyone's nightmare. It won't be difficult for me to gather these creatures and defeat the demons or the Heaven Destroyer, Ye Immortal said. He was the most powerful patriarch in the history of the heavenly human race. All the secrets of the heavenly human race were no secret to him. Many of the experiments were even ordered by him. Patriarch, but the array formation of the Heaven Destroyer is still not easy to deal with. The old Lord of Heaven said, the array formation of the Heaven Destroyer was really a headache. They had been attacking it for more than 500 years, but they still couldn't break it. Now that they didn't attack it, the array formation of the Heaven Destroyer would probably be recharged. It would take a long time to attack it again. By then, even if they could defeat the demons and the Heaven Destroyer, they could still hide in the Heaven Destroyer's base and they wouldn't be able to do anything. So, next, we need to find a way to make a treasure that can break the array formation of the Heaven Destroyer in a short time. Ye Immortal said, Ancestor, may I know what kind of treasure you want to refine? A Lord of Heaven asked. Refining divine thunder. Ye Immortal enunciated each word with a cold look in his eyes. Refining divine thunder? Ancestor, you'll need the tribulation sword, but it's the treasure you'll be using for your tribulation in the future. The old Lord of Heaven exclaimed. The other members of the heavenly human tribe were also shocked. The tribulation refinement sword was used by the Ye Immortal to overcome the tribulation. It was incomparably precious, 100 times more valuable than a top-notch source-grade weapon. It would be a waste to use such a treasure to refine the tribulation divine lightning. One had to know that after refining the tribulation lightning, the tribulation sword would be useless. This was a huge loss. Ye Immortal was actually willing to do that. If the treasure is useless, I can always find another one. Moreover, with my cultivation, I'm still a long way from transcending the tribulation. Besides, no matter how precious the treasure is, it can't be compared to the body of a human king. This time, we must completely defeat Heaven Destroyer and take the body of a human king. Ye Immortal said with a firm attitude. He couldn't stay calm if the body of a human king was in the hands of Heaven Destroyer. Because if Heaven Destroyer got the heart of a human king one step ahead of him, they would all be finished. How long will it take for your blacksmiths to refine the tribulation divine thunder? Ye Immortal looked at the heavenly human tribe powerhouses who were in charge of blacksmithing. If all the materials are gathered, it will take about 3,000 years. An elder in charge of blacksmithing replied. We can't wait that long. I'll give you 1,000 years. After 1,000 years, I want to see the tribulation divine thunder. This matter is settled. Disperse. During this time, supervise your subordinates and do their best to improve their strength. Ye Immortal ordered in an unquestionable tone. The heavenly human powerhouses accepted the order and left. Yi Qiuxian, tell me if you need any resources. Within 1,000 years, you must reach the 9th level Divine Master Realm. After 1,000 years, I'll leave Lu Ming's life in your hands. After everyone left, Ye Immortal said to Yi Qiuxian. Yes, Patriarch. After 1,000 years, I'll kill Lu Ming with my own hands. Yi Qiuxian's eyes were filled with hatred. The various forces in the universe maintained an inexplicable balance just like that. Other than the frequent battles between the demons and the heavenly palace, the other forces didn't have too many conflicts. The various forces were doing their best to develop and improve their strength in this era of great changes in the universe. During this time, prodigies from various forces popped up like bamboo shoots after a rain. Of course, the heavenly human tribe, the quasi-saint tribe, and Heaven Destroyer had secretly sent many powerhouses into various parts of the universe ruins to search for the whereabouts of the human king's heart. There were even some powerhouses who entered the 2/3 of the universe ruins that had yet to be explored. They also took over more territories in the process. Time passed quickly in this state of balance. In the blink of an eye, 1,000 years had passed. 1,000 years was just the blink of an eye for godly realm beings, let alone divine master realm beings. However, 1,000 years was enough for some peerless prodigies to make huge improvements. Lu Ming was one such example. For the past 1,000 years, Lu Ming had been wholeheartedly comprehending secret skills. With the help of the primordial divine stone and the primordial divine sound, his comprehension of secret skills had improved by leaps and bounds. He had comprehended various secret skills that weren't inferior to the primordial secret skills. In 1,000 years, he had comprehended more than 700 secret skills. The number of primordial secret skills that he had mastered and those that he had comprehended on his own had reached a shocking number of 2,999 secret skills. He was only one step away from reaching 3,000 secret skills, which would make him comparable to the Lord of the primordial divine court. The more Lu Ming comprehended, the faster his speed became. Originally, he could have comprehended more than 700 secret skills in 1,000 years. However, when the number of primordial secret skills that he had mastered, because they were also comprehended from the primordial divine stone, they were also called primordial secret skills here, approached 3,000 secret skills, the difficulty increased. When the number of primordial secret skills that he had mastered reached 2,999 secret skills, he encountered a bottleneck. He had been stuck at the 3,000th secret skill for 100 years and hadn't been able to comprehend it. However, Lu Ming had a feeling that as long as he could comprehend the 3,000th ancient mystic skill, transform it into a mystic skill rune and integrate it into his cells, his taboo power would undergo a qualitative change and his combat ability would increase greatly. However, the 3,000th secret skill was astonishingly difficult. After painstakingly comprehending it for 100 years, he still didn't have the slightest clue. It was even more difficult than comprehending the heaven-breaking style and primeval style. However, even if he hadn't comprehended the 3,000th secret skill, Lu Ming's combat strength had increased greatly compared to before. After all, he had gained more than 700 secret skills. The number of primordial secret skills that he had fused with his body had reached 2,999 secret skills. His forbidden power was already very powerful and had increased greatly compared to 1,000 years ago. Naturally, his combat strength had also increased by a level. With my current combat strength, if I use all my means, will I be able to fight against the strongest Lord of Heaven? Lu Ming whispered with a hopeful look in his eyes. He planned to test it out with the Bone Demon when. Chapter 4772. 1,000 years ago, when Lu Ming had just broken through to the 8th layer of the Divine Master Realm, he had felt that his battle prowess was already below the strongest Lord of Heaven. Now that his battle prowess had greatly improved, he should not be any weaker than the strongest Lord of Heaven. Unfortunately, he did not have any primordial gems or master-grade divine herbs. His cultivation level was still at the 8th layer of the Divine Master Realm. Of course, he had not been in secluded cultivation for the past 1,000 years. He would occasionally go out for a walk to understand the current situation of the universe. The current universe ruins was really changing every day. Compared to the past, it had undergone earth-shattering changes. Countless continent fragments were bursting with vitality. Life energy was exuberant, and life was even born. In addition, divine herbs of various grades, such as master-grade divine herbs, were constantly emerging. Even origin-grade divine herbs with origin marks were discovered from time to time. Primordial gems had been excavated from many continent fragments. The resources under the control of the various factions had increased by leaps and bounds. As a result, the cultivation of the experts of the various factions improved much faster than before. In a short 1,000 years, many experts from the various factions had broken through from the God the Arch stage to the Divine Master stage. The rate at which Divine Master experts improved was also many times faster than before. This was especially true for the younger generation, where geniuses were constantly emerging. The competition between geniuses was dazzling. All the major forces were thriving. If this continued, given enough time, the universe would really be able to recover a trace of the glory of the previous era's primordial continent. Of course, the various factions did not dare to slack off and were constantly on guard. The more abundant the universe's resources were, the greater the ambitions of the various factions. A great war would erupt sooner or later. I'd better comprehend the 3000th ancient secret technique first. I have a feeling that once I succeed, my forbidden power will undergo a transformation and my battle prowess will soar, far surpassing my current level. When that time comes, I won't need to fear the Yi Immortal in a battle of the same level. Lu Ming muttered to himself. Although his current battle prowess had increased by leaps and bounds, he was still not confident of defeating the Yi Immortal. The main reason was that the Yi Immortal's Genesis techniques were too powerful, and he was not confident of withstanding them. Lu Ming's heart shook. He discovered that someone was approaching. Xiao Qing and Tang Jun. Lu Ming was a little surprised. He did not expect Xian Yanqing and Tang Jun to come together. Lu Ming, something happened? Who would have thought that Xian Yanqing's first words would be this? Lu Ming's expression changed slightly. Could it be that the Heavenly Palace has begun to act? You guessed right. We received news that some time ago, the Heavenly Palace suddenly attacked the Sacred Bone Tribe, one of the 4 demon royal tribes. They defeated the Sacred Bone Tribe in one fell swoop, and the remaining warriors of the Sacred Bone Tribe fled to the other 3 demon royal tribes. I heard that the 3 demon royal tribes have joined forces and are preparing to fight against the Heavenly Palace. Tang Jun said, "Is the Heavenly Palace finally making a move? Come, let's leave this place." Lu Ming said. Immediately, they left the place and went to the meeting hall of the Heaven Destroyer. At this time, many people had already gathered in the meeting hall. Lion, Tang Jian, and the other higher-ups of the Heaven Destroyer were almost all present. Seeing Lu Ming and the other 2, Lion and the others stood up to greet them. "Lu Ming, you've come out of seclusion. I have something to discuss with you," Lion said with a smile, but Lu Ming could see that Lion's smile was forced and his eyes were serious. "Senior Lion, how is the battle between the Heavenly Palace and the evil demons?" Lu Ming asked. "I just received news that the evil demons have suffered a crushing defeat and lost a large number of experts. The remaining evil demons have escaped and are heading toward us. Zi Xian Yin Kong and the others have sent us a message and are asking for our help," Lion said with a serious expression. "What? The evil demons have suffered a crushing defeat? How is this possible? The 4 demon royal tribes together have more than 10,000 almighty. Could it be that the Heavenly Palace has sent out all their almighty? But that's impossible. All the forces are keeping a close eye on each other. If the Almighty of the Heavenly Palace were to make a large-scale move, it's impossible for us not to discover it." Lu Ming asked several questions in a row. He was very shocked. In the current universe, the Heavenly Palace, the Quasi-Sage Tribe, the evil demons, and the Heaven Destroyer were the most powerful forces. Moreover, each of them occupied a large territory. Many of the territories were guarded by Almighty, and the almighty experts were scattered everywhere. All the forces were keeping a close eye on the almighty experts of the other forces. If one of the forces wanted to make a large-scale move, the other forces would be the first to discover it and would definitely be prepared. For example, if the Heavenly Palace mobilized a large-scale almighty, the Heaven Destroyer and the evil demons would also take action. If the Heavenly Palace attacked one of the forces, the evil demons and the Heaven Destroyer would join forces. Only in this way could a balance be formed. Because whether it was the Heaven Destroyer or the evil demons, they were no match for the Heavenly Palace alone. As for the Quasi-Sage Tribe, their strength was still a mystery. No, the Heavenly Palace didn't mobilize a large-scale almighty expert. If they did, it's impossible for us not to know. There's only one possibility. This time, the Heavenly Palace shouldn't have mobilized many almighty experts. It's very likely that there are less than 3,000 of them. Lion explained. Lu Ming, Xian Yanqing, Tang Jun, and the others' expressions became extremely grave. Less than 3,000 almighty experts were able to defeat the 4 royal tribes of the evil demons? How was this possible? Could it be that the Heavenly Palace still had hidden forces? The others were also discussing spiritedly, but they couldn't come to a conclusion. The evil demons will arrive soon. When the time comes, we'll just have to ask them. Since the heavenly palace defeated the evil demons, they will definitely attack us next. What we need to do now is to defend against the heavenly palace's attack with all our strength. Lion shouted, and the scene quieted down. Then, everyone began to discuss how to defend against the heavenly palace's attack. Previously, they had already sent out a message to summon the almighty experts guarding various places. Now, the Heaven Destroyer's almighty experts, as well as the godly emperors and godly emperors, were all rushing back to the Heaven Destroyer's station. After discussing for a while, everyone dispersed and began to control the Heaven Destroyer's formations. After 1,000 years, the formations in the Heaven Destroyer's station once again emitted resplendent rays of light, enveloping the Heaven Destroyer's station. Very quickly, a few days passed in the blink of an eye. During these few days, the Heaven Destroyer's experts were constantly rushing back and gathering in the Heaven Destroyer station. Over the past 1,000 years, the experts of space-time spirit mice had set up wormholes in the various fragments of the continents occupied by the Heaven Destroyer. Therefore, the experts from various places were rushing back to the station at an extremely fast speed. In just a few days, all the experts of the Heaven Destroyer station had gathered in the Heaven Destroyer station. After a few more days, endless demonic energy filled the air outside the Heaven Destroyer station. An endless army of evil demons appeared. It was unknown how many evil demons there were. Other than the almighty realm evil demons, there were also countless godly emperors and godly emperors. Leading them were Zi Xian, Yin Kong, Jiao Du, and the others. However, these evil demons were currently in a sorry state. Their expressions were ugly, and many of them were even injured. Chapter 4773. Open the array and let them in. Lion's roar reverberated throughout the entire area. Immediately, everyone controlled the array, and a huge gap appeared in the array surrounding the Heaven Destroyer's base. Countless demons flew in through the gap and into the Heaven Destroyer's base. Not long after, almost all the demons entered the Heaven Destroyer's base. The Heaven Destroyer's members knew that they couldn't stop the Heavenly Palace by themselves. They could only fight against the Heavenly Palace if they joined forces with the demons. When all the demons entered the Heaven Destroyer's base, the array merged back together. Lu Ming spread out his spiritual consciousness and scanned the demon army. His heart sank slightly. 7,000 demon masters. The 4 great demon royal clans only had 7,000 demon masters left after joining forces. 1,000 years ago, when the 4 10,000 demon royal clans joined forces, the number of fiends and demon masters was over 11,000. Over the years, with the help of the resources in the universe ruins and the power of the demon master blood crystals, the number of demon masters had increased by a lot. But now, there were only 7,000 demon masters left. Could it be that more than 4,000 demons had fallen in the battle with the Heavenly Palace? This was an unimaginable number. Lu Ming, Zi Xian, Yin Kong, Jiao Du, and the other demon leaders flew to Lu Ming, Lion, and the others to greet them. What happened? The Heavenly Palace didn't mobilize a large number of divine masters. How did you lose so badly? Lu Ming went straight to the point and asked the core question. The other members of the Heaven Destroyer also focused on Zi Xian and the others. Only by knowing yourself and your enemy can you win 100 battles. They had to know the strength of the Heavenly Palace and how the demons lost. You're right. The Heavenly Palace didn't mobilize a large number of divine masters. This time, the Heavenly Palace only mobilized about 3,000 divine masters. Zi Xian smiled bitterly. Yin Kong, Jiao Du, and the others also had tragic expressions. This time, it was too tragic. Their losses were too great. This was especially true for the Sacred Bone race, one of the 4 great king races. They were the first to be attacked, and their losses were even more disastrous. They were almost crippled. What? The Heavenly Palace only mobilized 3,000 divine masters. Lu Ming, Xian Yanqing, Lion, and the others felt their hearts tremble. Disbelief was written all over their faces. The heavenly palace had only mobilized 3,000 almighty gods, yet they had defeated the evil demons' army of over 10,000 almighty gods, causing the evil demons to suffer heavy losses. How was this possible? If it weren't for the fact that it was right in front of our eyes, we wouldn't have believed it either. But that's the truth. Among the divine lords in the heavenly palace, there are suddenly many terrifying cultivators. Ordinary divine lords are like ants in front of them. It doesn't matter how many of them there are. Yin Kong sighed. He seemed to have thought of something, and there was still a hint of fear in his eyes. A lot of terrifying experts have appeared? How strong are they? Lion asked. Like the most powerful lord of heaven of the heavenly palace. Zi Xian nodded. What? How is this possible? Every one of the most powerful lord of heaven of the heavenly palace is unique and extremely rare. The heavenly palace is filled with experts, but there are only 4 most powerful lord of heaven. How could there be so many of them out of nowhere? Lion exclaimed in disbelief. The most powerful lord of heaven was not a cabbage that could be mass-produced. It was extremely difficult to produce a most powerful lord of heaven. Every most powerful lord of heaven was a peerless genius. For example, the 4 most powerful lord of heaven of the heavenly palace each controlled 3 types of heavenly power. The heavenly lords of the heavenly palace were only at this level. In other words, if these most powerful lord of heaven continued to grow, there was hope for them to become the lord of heaven in the future. Lion's own strength was equivalent to the most powerful lord of heaven. This kind of strength was something that could only be found by chance. How could there be so many of them in the heavenly palace all of a sudden? But this is the truth. We were defeated by these terrifying existences. No matter how many ordinary demon lords there are, it is useless. Facing these terrifying existences, they can only be slaughtered. Zi Xian sighed. Did you record it with a rest image stone or a ray? Let us see. Lion asked. Yin Kong nodded and took out a breath image stone. He activated the breath image stone and an image immediately appeared in the void. In the image was the scene of the battle between the demons and the heavenly palace. A large number of experts were fighting against each other. The number of demons was much greater than the number of the heavenly palace. As Zi Xian and the others had said, there were only about 3,000 demon lords in the heavenly palace. However, the 3,000 demon lords in the heavenly palace were like a sharp sword, easily tearing apart the demon army. Wherever they passed, demon experts were killed. The most terrifying ones were the living beings in the heavenly palace who were charging at the front. There were about a dozen of them, but their combat strength was extremely terrifying. Almost no demon could withstand a single blow from them. Even if it was an abyss devil at the peak of the demon master level, when encountering these people, they would often be killed in one move. Among these people, Lu Ming saw Yi Immortal and Yi Qiuxian. These 2 people's cultivation had already reached the 9th level of the Divine Lord realm. Yi Immortal's combat strength was already terrifying. After reaching the 9th level of the Divine Lord realm, his combat strength was even more unfathomable. He was even more powerful than the most powerful Lord of Heaven. Lu Ming saw an extremely powerful demon lord being killed by Yi Immortal in a few blows. That is the most powerful demon lord of my clan, but he couldn't withstand more than 10 blows from Yi Immortal. Yin Kong sighed. There was also Yi Qiuxian. He was a 9th level divine lord, but his combat strength was already comparable to the most powerful Lord of Heaven. Beside Yi Immortal and Yi Qiuxian were the Lord of Heaven, the Lord of War, and the Lord of Heaven, the 3 most powerful Lords of Heaven. However, these people weren't what shocked Lu Ming the most. What shocked Lu Ming was the other dozen people. Among them were 2 burly men who looked to be in their 30s. They shocked Lu Ming the most. This is taboo power. They have taboo bodies. Lu Ming stared at the 2 burly men and exclaimed. He was too shocked. Otherwise, he wouldn't have reacted this way. He wasn't the only one. Xian Yanqing, Tang Jun, Lion, Wan Xin, Dandan, and the others were also extremely shocked. Yes, these 2 burly men were really using taboo power. They clearly had taboo bodies. The cultivation of these 2 taboo bodies was at the peak of the Divine Lord realm, and their combat strength was extremely powerful. However, how could there be two taboo bodies in the heavenly palace? You didn't see wrongly. The power that these two people control is almost the same as yours. They are the taboo bodies that you speak of. They are extremely terrifying, Zi Xian said to Lu Ming. Do you have a closer and more detailed video recording? Lu Ming asked. Of course. Zi Xian nodded and took out a breathing shadow stone. This time, the image on the breathing shadow stone focused on the two taboo bodies. The two of them were fighting fiercely. Not a single evil demon was their match. With every punch and palm strike, several demon lords were killed. There was no mistake. Lu Ming concluded that these two burly men were using taboo power. Moreover, they were pure taboo bodies. They weren't fakes that took the taboo power of others and merged it with their own body. However, the eyes of these two people were turbid. They didn't seem to have any consciousness, as if they were walking corpses. Chapter 4774. At the scene, everyone from Heaven Destroyer was shocked. There were actually two forbidden bodies in the heavenly palace. Forbidden bodies had always been the archenemy of the heavenly human tribe. In the history of the universe, all the enemies of the heavenly palace were forbidden bodies. From the Lord of the Heavenly Court and the Lord of the Ancient Divine Court to the forbidden sword ancestor Tang Feng and the immeasurable heavenly demon Flying Phoenix, they were all forbidden bodies that posed a great threat to the heavenly palace. There were actually quite a few taboo bodies that were born in history, but many of them died halfway or went missing. There were only 4 people who truly became Origin Realm experts. Perhaps these 2 people were taboo bodies that went missing halfway. On the side, Tang Jun said, "It's possible. It's most likely so. Those forbidden bodies went missing halfway. They must have been captured by the heavenly palace. The heavenly palace used some unknown method to make them delirious, like walking corpses. It looks like they're puppets." The members of the Sky Exterminating Army discussed and voiced their own speculations. Obviously, the heavenly human tribe wants to control the forbidden bodies and use them as their weapons. However, without their own intelligence, the forbidden bodies will never be able to break through to Origin Realm. Tang Jun continued to explain. As the daughter of a forbidden body, she naturally knew a lot about forbidden bodies. Look at the other terrifying existences. Lion said. Compared to the 2 forbidden bodies, he was more concerned about the other huge figures because they looked very much like primitive divine spirits. Zi Xian nodded. With a wave of her hand, another breath shadow stone flew out and an image appeared. In this image, there were 4 huge figures. These 4 figures were all different in shape. Some were human-shaped, and some were beast-shaped. They had one thing in common, which was that they were huge. Moreover, their combat strength was very terrifying. They had reached the level of the strongest Lord of Heaven. Every time they attacked, several demon lords would be killed. They really are primitive divine spirits. But their eyes are filled with madness as if they have lost themselves. Some people exclaimed. No, the power in their bodies seems to be impure. It's mixed and terrifying. Lion spoke with a solemn expression. Lu Ming and the others could also see that these 4 huge figures were most likely primordial divine spirits. However, their bodies were blood red, and the energy flowing through their bodies was extremely chaotic. There was primordial divine power from the primordial divine spirits, but there were also other terrifying energies. For example, the power of the heaven and earth race, the power of the angel race, the power of the Buddha race, the power of the devil race, and so on. There were at least a dozen different powers on his body. Each and every one of them was extremely frightening. Lion and a few other primitive deities had ugly expressions. Apparently, the heavenly palace had done something to the 4 primitive divine spirits, causing them to lose their sense of self and become puppet-like war machines. They were incomparably terrifying, even more terrifying than the real primitive divine spirits. These 4 primitive gods and the 2 taboo beings from before all possessed the combat power of the Lord of Heaven. It wasn't hard for everyone to guess. During these years, the Celestial Clan had always been experimenting on the experts of various clans, and that was why this type of monster was formed. Subsequently, Zi Xian took out the 3rd breathing shadow stone. 9 elderly heavenly human tribe cultivators appeared on this breathing shadow stone. These 9 heavenly human tribe cultivators were extremely old, but they were extremely terrifying. They were all wearing golden armor and holding golden spears. When gathered together, they could kill any god or Buddha that stood in their way. The most powerful Lord of Heaven. They discovered that these 9 heavenly human tribe cultivators were all the most powerful Lord of Heaven, and they were all clear-headed. The heavenly human tribe actually had 9 most powerful Lord of Heaven hidden in the dark. It was simply terrifying. I know some of these people. They are all experts from a long time ago. I thought they had died long ago, but I didn't expect them to still be alive. Lion's expression was very ugly. According to Lion, these heavenly human tribe cultivators were top experts from a long time ago. Each of them was the most powerful Lord of Heaven of that era, and they had terrifying combat power. However, divine masters were not origin. Although they could live for a long time, their lifespan was still limited. Logically speaking, these heavenly human tribe cultivators' lifespan should have been exhausted. The lifespan of primitive divine spirits was extremely long, so Lion had seen these people before. He never expected that these people were still alive. Lion speculated that the heavenly human tribe might have grasped some method or obtained something in the universe ruins that could temporarily seal these people and delay the loss of their lifespan, releasing them at the critical moment. The people of Heaven Destroyer felt their hearts sink, and their expressions became more and more ugly. 9 heavenly human tribe cultivators in golden armor, 4 primordial divine masters, and 2 forbidden physiques. These were the 15 most powerful Lord of Heaven experts. In addition, there were Yi Immortal, Yi Qiuxian, the Lord of Heaven of 100 Battles, the Lord of Heaven of Destruction, and the Lord of Heaven of Pantheon. In total, there were 20 most powerful Lord of Heaven. This was a terrifying force that could completely break the balance. No matter how many ordinary divine masters there were, it was useless. They could not break through their defense and would be easily defeated by this force. This kind of existence was no longer something that could be defeated by numbers. More than 10,000 demon masters were defeated by this power. In the era where the source energy did not appear, this power was an invincible existence that no one could rival. If this force came, Heaven Destroyer would only be defeated. It would be useless even if they joined forces with the demons. They could only hide in the base and rely on the array to resist like before. Many people were secretly relieved that the Heavenly Palace did not send this force 1,000 years ago. Otherwise, even if Lu Ming saved the demons, he would not be able to defeat the Heavenly Palace army. It's a pity that there is no main attack array. Otherwise, we can rely on the advantage of numbers to defeat them. Someone sighed. More people shook their heads. What was the use of this? None of the forces in the universe had such a level of attack array. For example, an array like the 9 Heavens Battle Array could increase the power of the person who set it up by several times. Unfortunately, there was no such array suitable for divine masters. Anyway, none of the major forces had dug out such an array from the universe ruins. Even if there was, it was incomplete and not very useful. Everyone, what do you think? Zi Xian asked Lu Ming and the others. How many of the strongest devil masters are left? Lion asked. 2. Originally, there were 4 of them. The 4 royal families each had 1. In the previous battle, 2 of them died. Yin Kong spoke, his face full of resentment. One of the 2 strongest devil masters that died was from the Silver Wing clan. In the era where the origin source did not appear, the strength of the strongest devil masters could play a huge role. The death of any one of them was a huge loss. You only have 2 left. Together with our side, the difference is too big. It's far from enough. Lion sighed. In Heaven Destroyer, there were only 2 divine masters who could be considered as the strongest. Lion was one of them. For example, Tang Jian, the peak divine master of the Heaven and Earth clan, Rong Jin, and Autumn Moon's master in the Heavenly Palace, divine master Meng Su, were only at the peak Lord of Heaven's combat strength. They were still a bit away from the strongest Lord of Heaven. Chapter 4775. She, on the other hand, had the potential to become the strongest divine master. Unfortunately, his cultivation was not high enough. He was only a 9th-level divine master. Given Shi's strength, if he could break through to the peak divine master level, he would be slightly stronger than the Lord of Heaven, who was the strongest Lord of Heaven. Unfortunately, he was still a little lacking. Including Guillermo, there were only 5 Lord of Heaven level experts. It was far from enough. Of course, Lion did not include Lu Ming because he did not know that Lu Ming already had the strength of the strongest Lord of Heaven. However, even if he included them, the difference was still too great. Fighting head-on would only lead to defeat. Most importantly, Yi Immortal was too strong. Although Yi Immortal's cultivation was only a 9th-level divine master, his combat strength was a cut above the strongest Lord of Heaven. In addition, his equipment was too good. Yi Immortal's combat strength was definitely a top-notch source-level divine weapon. It was not inferior to Lu Ming's source-level divine weapon. His armor was also a source-level divine weapon. It had both offense and defense. In addition, Yi Qiuxian's armor was about the same. It had both offense and defense. With such equipment and their combat strength, they were practically invincible. Everyone, the only thing we can do now is to rely on the array to resist the Heavenly Palace's attack. When the time comes, we will need everyone's cooperation to strengthen the array. Lion said to Zi Xian, Yin Kong, and the others. If you have any requests, feel free to tell us. It's only right for us to cooperate. Zi Xian, Yin Kong, and the others said. Then they began to assign tasks. Just as they finished assigning tasks, a loud explosion came from outside the Heaven Destroyer base. The void cracked open and huge chariots appeared. The Heavenly Palace experts had arrived. To be precise, the Heavenly Human experts had arrived. There were no experts from other races here. They were all Heavenly Human experts. With experts from other races, they could be called the Heavenly Palace. Without experts from other races, they could only be called the Heavenly Human Tribe. There were about 3,000 Heavenly Human Tribe powerful beings standing on a dozen or so massive battlefields. Yi Immortal, Yi Qiuxian, and the others were standing on the largest chariot in the middle. Beside them were the Lord of Heaven of 100 Battles, the Lord of Heaven of Annihilation, and the Lord of Heaven of Pan-Heaven. In addition, there were 9 Heavenly Human Elders in golden armor. 4 of them were primitive divine spirits, and 2 of them were forbidden physiques. The terrifying lineup made everyone feel immense pressure. Buzz. When the Heavenly Human Tribe appeared, dazzling light emanated from every corner of the Heaven Destroyer base as layers of spell formations enshrouded the Heaven Destroyer base. Attack! Break the formation. Yi Immortal's cold voice echoed in all directions. Swoosh, swoosh, swoosh. Immediately, a dozen or so experts at the level of the Lord of Heaven stepped out and arrived in the air above the Heaven Destroyer station. Then, the dozen or so Lord of Heaven shouted as they took out a battle sword at the same time. The battle sword was covered in lightning as if it had evolved from lightning. It exuded a terrifying aura. Tribulation Divine Lightning, open! The dozen or so Lord of Heaven roared as they channeled a vast amount of energy into the battle sword. In the next moment, with a clang, the battle sword actually exploded, turning into 36 pieces. The 36 fragments flew to different directions of the Heaven Destroyer station and hovered in the air above it. Boom, boom, boom. Then, the 36 fragments exploded with a terrifying aura. The lightning on them surged wildly as if they had turned into 36 lightning suns. Then, endless lightning fell from the 36 fragments and blasted toward the Heaven Destroyer's spell formation. Rumble! The Heaven Destroyer's spell formation shook violently, creating ripples. Some of the spell formations dimmed rapidly. Some of the powerful beings controlling the spell formations trembled and almost vomited blood. In the Heaven Destroyer station, almost everyone's expression changed drastically. How can it be so powerful? How can this kind of lightning be so powerful? What kind of lightning is this? Many people exclaimed, and their expressions were extremely ugly. It was just a single strike, but it caused too much of a fluctuation. 1,000 years ago, tens of thousands of divine masters broke the spell formation together, but the fluctuation was far from that. Boom, boom. In the next moment, lightning fell again. The Heaven Destroyer Station's spell formation shook violently again, and its light dimmed. How could this be? Countless people in the Heaven Destroyer were horrified. Under such attacks, the spell formation's energy was being consumed too quickly. If this continued, the spell formation would be broken in less than a month. They thought that with the help of the demons, they would be able to resist for at least 1,000 years. But now, the situation was not like that at all. The heavenly human race had used a terrifying killing weapon, and they might not be able to last for a month. Once the spell formation was broken, they could only fight the heavenly human race head-on. However, the heavenly human race had those 20 terrifying beings. How could they fight against them? Even if the number of divine masters far exceeded that of the heavenly human race, it would be useless. They would be easily defeated. However, such a situation seemed inevitable. The only thing we can do now is to fight to the death. Prepare for battle. Lion's voice resounded throughout the Heaven Destroyer Station. Fight. Kill. Fight to the death with those bastards of the heavenly human race. The Heaven Destroyer and the demons roared. There was no way to retreat. They could only fight. Lu Ming, when the battle breaks out, take the opportunity to escape. Lion transmitted his voice to Lu Ming, Xian Yanqing, Tang Jun, and the others. Senior Lion, are you asking me to run away? Do I look like such a person to you? Lu Ming said lightly. Lu Ming, now is not the time to be stubborn. You are the hope of the Heaven Destroyer. If you don't die, there will always be a chance in the future. Lion said. At the same time, Divine Lord Dream Void Rong Jin and the others also advised Lu Ming and the others to escape. After all, Lu Ming, Xian Yanqing, Tang Jun, Wan Shun, and the others had limitless potential. As long as they didn't die, they would definitely rise in the future. Seniors, don't worry. I already have the strength of the strongest Lord of Heaven. I believe I can protect myself. Lu Ming said. What? You have the strength of the strongest Lord of Heaven? Lion and the others were shocked. Not only them, but Zixien Yin Kong and the other demon experts also looked at Lu Ming in shock. Lu Ming was only an 8th-level divine master, but he already had the strength of the strongest Lord of Heaven? How was that possible? I have no need to lie at this time. Besides, I still have Qiuqiu. Lu Ming waved his hand and Qiuqiu flew out, transforming into a round ball. Its eyeballs rolled around and a terrifying aura emanated from it. A peak divine lord. Qiuqiu's cultivation had clearly reached the peak divine lord level. Qiuqiu was completely different from other living beings. It did not need to slowly accumulate origin energy at 9th-level divine lord level. It could directly break through. In the last few years, after swallowing a divine weapon, Qiuqiu had broken through from 8th-level divine lord to peak divine lord. Qiuqiu's strength is also on par with the strongest Lord of Heaven. There's also the Bone Demon. With them here, I have no need to worry about protecting myself. Lu Ming said. Qiuqiu had absorbed all sorts of damaged divine weapons and even a divine weapon, so it was getting stronger and stronger. After reaching the peak divine lord level, its strength was definitely on par with the strongest Lord of Heaven. Chapter 4776. The Shakin Lion, Rong Jin, Dream Void, Zixien Yin Kong, and the others' hearts grew thicker. If that was the case, Lu Ming's group would have 3 people on the same level as the strongest Lord of Heaven. How terrifying was that? Hee, if I go all out, delaying 2 Lord of Heaven won't be a problem. Bone Devil chuckled. Even though Bone Devil's attack power was on par with one of the strongest Lord of Heaven, his defense was incomparably strong and indestructible. The strongest Lord of Heaven wouldn't be able to break through his defense. If Bone Devil went all out and disregarded his defense, delaying 2 Lord of Heaven wouldn't be a problem. With the addition of the Heaven Destroyer and the Devil, they would have 7 Lord of Heaven experts on par with the strongest Lord of Heaven. They would be able to hold off 8 of the strongest Lord of Heaven. But it was far from enough. Everyone, it won't be a problem for me to hold off one of the strongest Lord of Heaven. Xian Yanqing spoke, his voice brimming with confidence. Everyone looked at Xian Yanqing with shock and doubt. Could a ninth-level divine master like Xian Yanqing really be on par with one of the strongest Lord of Heaven? They knew that Xian Yanqing's talent was rare, but how could the strongest Lord of Heaven's talent be weak? It was almost impossible for him to fight someone above his level. Unless it was a peerless genius like Lu Ming, Yi Immortal, or Yi Qiuxian. I'm confident. Xian Yanqing nodded solemnly. I believe in little Qing. Lu Ming said. Lu Ming knew that Xian Yanqing had obtained the immeasurable devil steel. Even though he hadn't broken through to the peak divine master realm, he had definitely obtained something from it. It wasn't impossible for his strength to increase greatly. In that case, their side's battle power was comparable to 9 of the strongest Lord of Heaven. But it wasn't enough. Senior Lion, don't tell me there aren't any hidden trump cards in the Heaven Destroyer? Lu Ming asked. There are, but not many. My race has an expert called Tiger, a peak divine master realm existence. At his peak, his battle power wasn't any weaker than mine. However, he was severely injured and sealed. If I awaken him, he would be able to erupt with the strength of the strongest Lord of Heaven for a short time. Lion. Devils, don't tell me you don't have any hidden trump cards? Outs of the devil experts of the devil experts. The eyes of Zixien, Yin Kong, and the others flickered. After a while, Zixien said, to be honest, we demons have been stuck in the dark universe for countless years and lack resources. We are indeed not like the celestial race, who can continuously obtain all kinds of resources from the ruins of the universe and conduct all kinds of research. Therefore, we really don't have a hidden strongest demon king. Zixien paused for a second before continuing. However, it's not like our 4 royal devil races don't have any desperate measures. Our 4 royal races have a secret art that, when combined with the various treasures of our royal races, can increase the user's battle power explosively. It won't be a problem for them to reach the strongest devil master realm in a short time. Lu Ming, Lion, and the others' eyes lit up. If that's the case, the 4 demon royal clans can still produce 4 strongest demon masters? Lu Ming asked. That's right, but there are conditions. The user must be a direct descendant of one of the 4 royal races. Moreover, their cultivation must be at least a 9th-level divine master or peak divine master realm. Most importantly, once the user uses the secret art, the user will die without a doubt. Zixien said. Lu Ming understood. No wonder Zixien, Yin Kong, Jiao Du, and the others didn't look too good. Because once this secret art was used, it meant that each of their clans would lose a direct descendant of at least a 9th-level divine master. Not to mention the loss, someone had to be willing to do it. It was almost a sure death. Everyone, you must understand that this time, it is a matter of life and death for all of us, Lion said. We understand. Leave this matter to us. We will definitely send out 4 strongest devil masters, Zixien said. Then she exchanged glances with Yin Kong, Jiao Du, and the others. They all nodded. But this way, we can at least resist 14 strongest Lord of Heaven experts. As for the rest, we may have a chance of winning with the advantage of numbers. Lion said. Although the difference between an ordinary divine master and the strongest Lord of Heaven was too great, each of their clans had their own top divine master experts. For example, Divine Master Dream Void, Tang Jian, and Rong Jin. Although they weren't as strong as the strongest Lord of Heaven, they weren't far off. With a few more of them working together, they might be able to hold back the strongest Lord of Heaven. This way, they could still put up a fight. The biggest problem now is Yi Immortal, Zixien said with a frown. Her brows were tightly knitted together. Lu Ming, Lion Yin Kong, and the others' faces darkened. Indeed, the biggest problem now was Yi Immortal. Yi Immortal's combat strength was too strong. Coupled with his equipment, he had completely surpassed the strongest Lord of Heaven. The strongest devil master of the demon race had been killed in less than 10 moves. If no one could stop Yi Immortal, their plan would be for naught. The strongest forces on their side would be defeated one by the Yi Immortal. When that happened, they would suffer a crushing defeat. It's not like there's no way. I heard from Dad that there's a forbidden body sleeping in the base. If he can wake up, he might be able to fight against the Yi Immortal. Tang Jun said at this moment. There's a forbidden body sleeping in the base? Lu Ming blurted out. His heart was pounding wildly. That's indeed the case. There's a forbidden body called Gu Changfeng. He was a forbidden body before Tang Feng and Fei Huang. He was extremely talented and had unparalleled talent. He stunned the entire heavenly human race and suppressed the prodigies of that era. Moreover, he broke through and cultivated all the way to the peak of the Almighty Master Realm. However, when he tried to break through to the Origin Realm, he encountered a huge problem. He was severely injured and almost died. He was saved by one of the Origin Realm of the primordial gods. After the Heaven Destroyer was established, he was placed in the base of the Heaven Destroyer. Lion nodded. Encountered a huge problem when breaking through to the Origin Realm? What problem? Lu Ming asked. I don't know. Some people guessed that the heavenly human race might have done something secretly. Moreover, his injuries were too severe. Although the Heaven Destroyer has been searching for treasures to help him recover, it has always lacked the most important heavenly treasure. Lion said. What kind of heavenly treasure? Lu Ming asked. It's not fixed. However, it must contain a vast amount of life essence and have a huge effect on the soul. Gu Changfeng's soul was injured the most. Lion said. Hearing this, Lu Ming's eyes suddenly lit up. It must contain a vast amount of life essence and have a huge effect on the soul. Such treasures were indeed rare and extremely precious. However, didn't Lu Ming happen to have one? 5 Elements Fairy Tears. Yes, the 5 Elements Fairy Tears. Back in the Grand Supreme Immortal City, Lu Ming had obtained a total of 3 drops of 5 Elements Fairy Tears. 2 of them were used to save Dandan and Ling Yue. At that time, only Dandan's soul was left and his soul was about to shatter. He was saved by the 5 Elements Fairy Tears and his talent increased greatly. You're tuning in to the Passion Pages YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.